Practice. It's very important for developing any skill or endeavor, from music to art, sports, or memorization. You won't get very far without it. However, practice doesn't come without dangers. The daily repetition of practice develops a muscle memory and experience in the craft that you need. It teaches the mechanics used as a foundation for a deeper and more technical understanding. However, this repetition could also lead to frustration and mundanity if we're not careful. By performing the same simple actions repeatedly, we may fall in a rut, or worse, quit entirely. As we worship on Sunday mornings, we gather together and we worship God, study from His Word, sing His praises, and partake of the Lord's Supper. This supper, of course, is of utmost importance to us as Christians, as our very salvation rests on Christ's death. It's easy, though, for the elements that we practice in to become mundane, if we let it. We have a guide for success and our most important endeavor, and that guide is a Bible. With it, we learn, advance, and grow at our own pace while watching the success stories of those around us. This keeps us motivated to continue those repetitions we are tasked to complete as Christians, that being reading our Bibles, praying, encouraging others, things like that. Just like how those simple tasks you do while practicing are your foundation in your hobby or craft of choice, far more so is Christ's death the foundation of your faith. Romans 5:8 says that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Unlike most things we practice, this isn't just a hobby. Our very souls rest in doing this in a worthy manner. How do you feel about the Lord's Supper that we partake of? Do you feel it's mundane? Is it just another part of another service? I certainly hope not. As we partake, we perform another act of practice, the practice of keeping our minds focused on why we are to partake. Do we do so by reading of the supper or the crucifixion? Do we go over the words of a song before the supper and meditate on those words? However it's done, we are to remember those often recited words. When you partake, this do in remembrance of me.